Whether you're picking and grinning or just grinning, grab a drink, pull up a seat. It's time for Roots Music Rambler. Turn it up. All right, Frank, it is that time of year again. The Americana Music Association has issued its first round of nominees for the awards for 2026. And I do say first round because there was a bit of a minor kerfuffle, a hullabaloo on the old interwebs when the nominations first came out because it had left off Instrumentalist of the Year.
Oh, right. I
And
saw
people
that.
jumped to the conclusion that meant the AMA was no longer going to reward that.
Yeah.
And the AMA has since clarified. Now, the AMA very well could have eliminated it and then saw how pissed off everybody was and reinstituted it. But I don't know that that's the case. They issued a statement saying that nominees will be presented at a later date and they will all be a part of the same awards ceremony. So if anybody got the misinformation from someone along the way that the Instrumentalist of the Year is not going to happen, it is going to happen. They just haven't issued the nominations yet. But we have nominations for Album, Artist, Duo Group, Emerging Act, and Song of the Year. And listeners of this program should remember from last year that Francesca Folinazzo and Jason Falls get a vote for the Americana Music Association Awards because we are members of said AMA. So this is the episode every year where we start off with going through the nominees and picking our votes. So if we were doing this live, we could have the audience participate, but we're not.
Sure.
So it's just us. And normally I pick them all, and Francesca, if she gets pissed and argues about one of them, I'll change it. That's kind of how it happened in the past, but I'll try to be more diplomatic this year. All right.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome. I'm going to go bottom to top.
Okay.
So that we do the album of the year last.
All right.
So the first category we have to decide is Song of the Year. The nominations for AMA Song of the Year this year are Returning to Myself, Brandi Carlile, Snapping Turtle, S.G. Goodman, Wild and Clear and Blue, which is I'm With Her. If you don't know who they are, get out from under the fucking rock you've been living in. That's Sarah Jaraz, Efo Donovan, and Sarah Watkins. I'm With Her. Fantastic multi-Grammy award-winning peoples and multi-AMA award-winning peoples. Heavy Foot by Monrovia. I love his story. And if you don't know his story, look him up. He is his, I don't know his real name off the top of my head. He goes by the stage name Monrovia, which is the capital of Liberia, which is the country where his family and he is originally from. He immigrated to Tennessee at some point and now plays music that's really good. And Heavy Foot's been a big hit this year for him. So Monrovia, that song's written by Grant Averill, Eric Cromartie, Cooper Holzman, and Andrew Lowe. And I don't think Monrovia, the person, is one of those names. I don't believe so. Anyway. And then the last one is The World's Gone Wrong, Lucinda Williams featuring Brittany Spencer. That was written by Tom Overby, Doug Pettibone, and Lucinda Williams. So there's your nominations. Returning to Myself, Snapping Turtle, Wild and Clear and Blue, Heavy Foot, and The World's Gone Wrong. Frank, what do you say about Song of the Year?
Oh, dear. This is really tough.
Mm-hmm.
We all know how I feel about Lucinda Williams.
Mm-hmm.
We all know how you and I both feel about S.G. Goodman.
Yep.
And Brandi Carlile. Does she do anything that is not award worthy? So for that reason, wait, what are the other categories? Because I feel like we should spread the love.
The other categories are Emerging Act of the Year, which is someone new. Duo Group of the Year, I'm With Hers in that one.
Right.
Artist of the Year, which a couple of these folks are in that. And Album of the Year, which a couple of these folks are in.
Okay.
As well.
All right. So for that reason, oh boy, this is a tough one. My inclination is toward Snapping Turtle or Heavy Foot.
Okay. Well, I would agree with both of those being sort of the top two. I think it's going to be Heavy Foot.
Yeah.
because of the whole backstory of Monrovia is great, and the song just kind of went nuts. And Snapping Turtle was fantastic, but it didn't get the chart love.
True.
So that's where I think the lack of exposure is probably going to weed SG out. But I think for that reason, we vote for Snapping Turtle.
Okay.
Because I think it is the song of the year. I don't think it's going to win, but I
Yeah.
think that we can vote for it and feel very happy about that.
It's just such a good song and so like emotional. And I mean, it
Yeah.
makes me cry.
Oh yeah,
And I think that's the whole point of media. But
exactly.
okay, that's cool. I'm
All
I'm
right.
on board with that.
All right. Emerging act of the year. I had to do a little digging because a couple of these I hadn't heard of yet. But Crow Boys, Boy Golden, Cassius Culpepper, Ken Pomeroy, and the aforementioned Monrovia. Those are your candidates for Emerging Act of the Year. I will say this. Believe by Cassius Culpepper was the number one song on the AMA charts for like 8 or 9 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But Monrovia's Heavy Foot was also, I think it was one for a week or two, but it was in the top 3 forever. And then the others were the ones that I had to kind of go digging a little bit to just kind of remind myself as to who they were. I'd heard the names, but I wasn't real sure what songs they wrote. So therefore, I think it's between Cassius Culpepper and Monrovia. But your thoughts?
Yes, I agree 100%. Those were my two top picks as well. And I think if I have to pick one of the two, I'm going to go with Monrovia.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Cassius Culpepper deserves it. Hands, if
Of
it weren't
course.
for Monrovia's story and whatnot, it wouldn't be a competition. But holy crap. I mean, you could flip a coin. And to be honest with you, I hope they tie. I hope they give it to both of them.
Right.
But I know they won't, but that's what I'm hoping for.
Hey,
All
before we go on to the next
yes.
the next category, I looked it up as you were talking. His real name is Jan J. Lowe.
John J. Lowe. That's right. Okay, very good. Was he listed on there?
No, but there's an
No.
Andrew Lowe. So I don't know if that's
who knows?
relation. I mean, it's kind of a common name, so who knows?
Yeah,
You're right.
We're not sure, but it's a good song.
Absolutely.
When someone asked me to describe Monrovia's music not long ago, and I said he sounds very Noah Kahnish. The younger generations, I think, are going to like the sound.
Yeah.
Because he's got this very sort of folk rock, easy to listen to sound, and he's got really, really good songs. But his songs also are really based in that experience of always being an outsider. He was an immigrant. He was literally an African-American growing up in East Tennessee, I think it was. And so there's so much about his background and whatnot that just makes that story so compelling, and then makes his music compelling as well because of the lyrics and whatnot. But so if you haven't checked out Monrovia yet, you need to. All right. Next category, duo group of the year. Man, this is a bitch. Your candidates are Flatland Cavalry, I'm With Her, who we've talked about, Mumford & Sons, which made a big comeback this year, Turnpike Troubadours, which is always good, and let's just throw in Gillian Welch and David Rawlings for the fuck of it. I mean, what are you going to do here? That's crazy.
Yeah, okay, so I do like Turnpike. I think it's going to come down to, oh man, I don't know. I think it's going to come down to Mumford & Sons and Gillian Welch and David Rawlings.
See, I would have said I'm With Her and Gillian Welch and David Rawlings, but I can't argue with Mumford & Sons either. So it's tough.
Well, like you said, they really made a comeback. Their last couple of albums before this current one, they kind of strayed from that whole Americana sound.
Right.
And admittedly, I don't like those albums. I don't listen to them. Because that is not the Mumford & Sons that I love. I appreciate that they have the ability and the right to branch out any way that they want. But their latest album is definitely more in that vein of what, attracted me to them in the first place 15 years ago or whatever. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. So maybe I'm With Her and then Gillian Welch and David Rawlings, but who won last year in this category?
I'm pretty sure I'm With Her did.
That's what I think, and I think that's kind of what informed my first statement that I think it's going to come down to Mumford and Sons and Welch and Rawlings. Um, but even still, I don't know how you can overlook Gillian Welch and David Rawlings.
Duo Group of the Year last year was Gillian Welch and David Rawlings.
Okay, so then maybe we'll go for this year. We'll go with I'm With Her.
Okay.
So knowing that now that Welch and Rawlings won in this category last year,
Yep.
I would say I'm With Her and Mumford and Sons would be the two top. And I'm With Her. They're just so ridiculously talented. Not
Yeah.
to say Mumford and Sons aren't,
Right.
but that they are kind of in their own little. They kind of have their own little segment or little corner of the Americana space to themselves.
It'll be interesting to see how the voters respond and where the award goes, because I could see them saying, okay, Gillian and David won last year. Let's give it to I'm With Her this year. But I could also see them saying, Gillian and David ain't getting any younger. Let's just keep giving them the damn award. It's like,
Right. And that's just it. Like I remember listening to Gillian Welch, 30 years ago. So
Yeah.
it's a tough one, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm With Her won this category.
Sure. Absolutely. All right. We're up to Artist of the Year.
So wait, who's going to be our pick for a duo?
Our pick, I put I'm With Her down. I think we
Okay.
sort of evolved around that. Mumford and Sons would be a close second, probably. But I've got I'm With Her down. I can't disagree with that. I mean, they seem to win everything they're ever up for. So I think if you're putting money on it, that's a good bet.
Okay.
So, all right. Here we go. Artist of the Year. I think Artist of the Year is the big award, but Album of the Year is the one that gets all the headlines. I think Artist of the Year is the most important one. And it's like, which artist just crushed it this year? And listen to the candidates. Here we go. Ready? This is another one. What the hell? Brandi Carlile. Hello. Charlie Crockett. I think he released 17 albums this year. Margot Price. Always a good pick. Molly Tuttle, who has had a fantastic year, a fantastic album, and got engaged to Ket Secor. Oh, Lord. And then Jesse Wells, who's just always hanging around. He's such a good songwriter and probably our first true folk troubadour that we've had, and that has emerged as a new act in the last few years, in decades, probably since Dylan, right. I would think. So Jesse Wells is on there too. I mean, flip a damn coin.
Right. This is one like you need to put the list of names on a wall and throw a dart, because it could go to any one of those individuals. God, I'm feeling Charlie Crockett versus Jesse Wells.
Okay. All right. I think Molly Tuttle wins this.
Okay.
I think Molly, her album was so good. Like, I became a Molly Tuttle convert this year because of that album. So I think Molly Tuttle wins this. I'm not saying that's who we need to vote for.
Yeah.
I think she's got this. I think she's going to win this award. I think she's going to be the Artist of the Year.
Okay.
But
I mean, I'm not going to argue over argue with you about who to pick for this category, because like I said, any one of them, they're all worthy.
Well, you said Charlie Crockett over Jesse Wells. I think we vote for Charlie Crockett. I don't have a problem with that at all, because okay. I mean, when you produce 17 albums in 1 year, you're probably going to win something. Oh. It wasn't 17.
Right. I know that. I think that's what is called hyperbole.
I know. Well, he had like 3 albums, and then he released a surprise secret one that I think got taken down or something. I don't know. Just the guy's prolific as shit.
Right.
All right. So Artist of the Year, we're going to do Charlie Crockett. All right. Album of the Year. Here we go. This is the big category. And damn you, AMA. Damn you.
Damn you. For real.
Because 2 of these candidates are 2 of my favorite albums of the past 2 years. One of them probably should have been considered last year, but we've had this argument before about the calendar dates when things have to be. That confuses the shit out of me. If it's released in 2026, make that the year that it's allowed to win the awards. And I don't know. Anyway. All right, here's your I'm going to give you the runners up, because the runners up are going to be Hard-Headed Woman, Margot Price, Cruel Joke, Ken Pomeroy, Billionaire, Kathleen Edwards. All good albums, all great artists, wonderful production, wonderful talent. Billionaire, by the way, produced by Jason Isbell and Gina Johnson. Let's see. Yeah, that's the most notable name on there. The other two nominees are perhaps my favorite album in the last decade, Snipe Hunter, Tyler Childers, produced by Tyler Childers, Rick Rubin, and Nick Sanborn. You put Tyler Childers and Rick Rubin in the same room and they produce an album, and if that doesn't win the fucking album of the year, something's wrong with everybody. But the 1B, if I had to rank them, is Planting by the Signs, S.G. Goodman, produced by S.G. Goodman, Matthew Rowan, and Drew Vandenberg. I think it pronounces it Rowan and Drew Vandenberg. Which again, and she's just come out with Replanting by the Signs, which is a deluxe edition with a Tyler Childers Sonora May cover of the title track, which is phenomenal. I mean,
Tyler's going to win no matter what, right?
I don't disagree with you, but this might be, and I hope I'm wrong, because she does just keep getting better. This might be S.G. Goodman's best chance at winning this.
Yeah.
Might be. Now, she may come out with something next year that blows us all, our faces off, and it's 10 times better. I would hate to see S.G. Goodman not win this, but I think Tyler's going to win it. Because that album is so goddamn good. So good. And it had the country song of the year in the Grammys, Biting List.
Yeah.
And that's not even the best. I don't think that's even the best song on the album.
Right. I mean, it's just your favorite. Right.
It's my favorite song of all time, but it's not the best song on the album. So
yeah,
that's just crazy. So we're good with voting with Tyler. Man, I almost hate to not vote for S.G. Goodman.
That's what I'm thinking. And Kathleen Edwards, like, she's been at this for such a long time. She took a hiatus. Like, she's been busting ass, and I've been listening to her since 2023. Or I'm sorry, not 2023, 2003. Whoopsie. Yep. So, and I mean, I love me some Timmy Ty. Okay, been a huge fan for a long time now. But I feel like our vote should go to SG.
Okay, I'm gonna change it.
And that's not because I don't love Kathleen Edwards any less.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, it hurts a little bit, but Planting by the Signs is just so damn good.
It is. It's really good. And it's not just good because the music is good and the songs are good, but the concept of it, when you read the zine that goes with it and everything, it's like, oh my God, this is brilliant. Right. I mean, it's like a masterpiece novel,
And I think when we talk about Americana and what that means, and even in the context of our show, it's all about the roots of music. And, SG, like you said, it's like a novel, right? It's like where she's from. It's her background. It's her life. It's her roots. And, for that reason, I think she has to get our vote.
It's telling that Tyler Childers, our other favorite nominee, actually cut a cover of the title track for her, reissue of the deluxe edition. So our album of the year is Planting by the Signs by S.G. Goodman. Welcome to Roots Music Rambler. She's Frank.
And he's Falls.
And we're rambling on through the stories behind the music we love.
Today on the show, we're talking to North Carolina native and Nashville-based singer-songwriter Nathan Evans Fox. He has been called indie country, alt country, folk, and lots of other things. And he is all of those things, but none of those things at the same time.
Yeah, he said before that he aspires to write songs the way gas stations feel. We're going to ask him about that. I'm not sure what it means, but he's richly American, and Americana is his sound. Really good songs, strong stories, and lyrics, and his new album is quite good.
Yes, it is. And the album is called Heirloom. It came out on May 29th. He rolled out several singles leading up to releasing the album, and they're all really good songs. So I know Falls has enjoyed a few of them. Yes.
Yes, one was a little bit of Shine, which had some great harmonies in it with Emily Hines, who also sings on several other tracks on the album. And then when the full album dropped, there's a great like small town middle age what am I doing with my life anthem called Race Car that I think is really really good. I love the whole thing, and I'm kind of wondering why we haven't heard more about Nathan Evans Fox until now.
Right, exactly. And we're about to, right? We're all about to hear some more because he's going to be here with us. And we'll also have our Pickin' the Grinnin' segment where we pick songs, albums, artists, whatever for you to listen to.
That's right. Nathan Evans Fox is with us next. Let's take a quick break to hear from the fine sponsors that make this show tick. This is Roots Music Rambler. Welcome back to Roots Music Rambler. That is a little bit of Shine from Nathan Evans Fox, one of the first singles from his brand new album, Heirloom, which I believe has been a long time coming. His last album was 2021, but we have new music from the man who is with us today on the big show. Nathan, welcome. How have you been, my friend?
I've been good. I've got a toddler and a 5-month-old, and I've been touring and I'm releasing a record, so I'm good, and I'm also so tired. This morning I had 3 cups of coffee, and then I had a Celsius energy drink, and then I had another cup of coffee, and I still fell asleep.
So, yeah, that sounds about right. Good. God love you for having the kids and doing what you're doing, because I can't imagine when my kids were little. They're grown now, but when my kids were little, I could imagine touring and all that stuff. That's crazy.
It's a lot. Yeah.
I could barely function. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to ask real quick because I couldn't find it on that track that we just played a little bit of Shine. Who's doing harmony on that? I didn't know if it was Lizzie or Emily or someone else, and I thought they were just perfect. So I want to make sure I give proper credit.
That's Emily Hines. She sings all over the record, and normally when I do like a solo live thing, I just make it a duo and have her with me, and she plays a little bit of guitar and sings. But she's so locked in, and I love the way her voice sits in those recordings. I love her solo stuff. Yeah. I'm an Emily Hines truther in all contexts.
Well, you the two of you sound great together on that recording and certainly throughout the record. So I just wanted to call it out because I was like, man, those harmonies are really good. All right, so when we're recording this, the album is about to drop. By the time people hear or see this, it will already be out in the world. I know the best practices these days is to roll out singles for a few months before an album drops, which can kind of make launch week maybe a little anticlimactic, but what's this week look like for you? And are you super hyped? Are you exhausted? Are you somewhere in the middle? What's it like for an artist on launch week?
Yeah, I'm right in the middle. I just got off the road 10 days with Carsey Blanton opening for her, which was great. Had a great time. But that means that I put off a lot of things. And so this week, I'm kicking it into high gear. I've got to rehearse with the band. I've got Clover Lynn of banjo fame coming in to play banjo with me in the band. I've got 2 release shows. I have like a secret kind of early one that we're doing in Chattanooga. And the thing is, I've also got to do, I've got to like clean some gourds because I grow a lot of gourds and I'm going to give them away at the show. And there's no connection. I just think it'd be funny as shit to be giving away gourds at my show.
Just give away gourds.
So, but they get all kinds of like mold and fungus on them, which is typical. That's not abnormal. but because they got to dry out over the winter, so I got to get some Brillo pads and some Clorox to help prepare for my release show.
Wow.
I want to know more about these gourds. Are they dried out? Like, can you shake them and like use them as instruments, like maracas?
Yeah, they don't have enough seeds in them to do that, but they could be bowls, they could be cups, they could be Martin houses. Now this year I've got some African drum gourds that are growing, and they get real big. So we'll see. Maybe my next record I'll be able to like swaddle some children I'll make little cradles. But these are just, 6 inches, 5 inches around. Just good normal gourds.
Nice. I love it.
That's very interesting, and maybe at another time we'll do like a gardening podcast or something, and we can learn more about the gourds. But in the meantime, let's talk some more about the new album. So we love it, and I was taken by a quote of yours where you said that you aspire to write sounds or write music that sound the way gas stations feel. So can you explain what exactly do you mean by that?
I think another way of saying it is that I don't like British music. I too many chords. Yeah.
Not to be confused with gourds, but
right.
Not to be yeah, I like lots of gourds. I don't like many chords. No, I think I make stuff that just sounds like really, really, for better and for worse, just really American.
Yeah.
And like what I really like about a gas station is I think like 500 years from now, what they're going to remember about the US is like mostly gas stations. Like that's our infrastructure. That's our melting pot. Like our archaeological record will be trash. Like all like these like plastics and styrofoams and things that haven't biodegraded, like that will be our legacy. And it's like, what we do really well is honey buns and like these like one-off things, single-use goods. And also like I've had all my best conversations at gas stations. Like some of my favorite people that I've gotten to know, the people that know everything in the neighborhood, are at the gas station. There's a real like, if you get it right, there's a real like beauty and poetry to a gas station. And there's also something deeply pragmatic about it. So yeah, like if you get a good gas station, especially one that's not just like a big chain, but it's kind of out and it's like half chain and half local, you're getting like local mushrooms of any kind. Along with like, the cardboard cutout of like Kevin Harvick from 15 years ago, along with your like crispy chicken sandwich that's like straight from the freezer, and the boiled peanuts. So like it's it's all the American things sitting in one spot.
Now, Frank, I gotta reel Frank in a little bit here because Nathan, she's from Chicago. And what she probably isn't used to that we are, because I'm from Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky, you're from the mountains of Carolina. You will find these like sort of kind of half chain, like the one in Eastern Kentucky is called Double Quick. And you go into Double Quick and they've got like really good meat and two, like buffet. They've got your fountain drinks and your honey buns and your Little Debbie's and all that kind of stuff. But there's usually like 4 or 5 old guys from town sitting around drinking coffee in the little cafe area. They're crazy. They're absolutely crazy. Yeah.
In my defense, I've road tripped so much. I've covered enough ground, enough miles of this country to have experienced that. But to hear the way that Nathan's describing it, I mean, seriously, I'm laughing so hard that I am crying.
It's perfect.
Anyway,
perfect description.
It's like this to me. What makes it so American is it's like what we do best. It's like the little like community, but also it's so commercial. It's like this like little. It's like a Mr. Tumnus of like humanity and also the worst things that we do. But it ends up being it's what we do.
That is so
and that's
true.
what my song is. My song is a little bit the worst things that we do and a little bit human.
That's so true. And I'm old enough to remember gas stations when they had attendants that would come and pump your gas for you. And they were always the 90-year-old guy who knew everybody in town and would he would wash your window while he was talking to you while you were sitting in the front seat. Like, that's true beyond just our generation, I think.
It's like the old telephone operators. You didn't want to say anything bad to the telephone operators or make anybody in their family mad because they knew all the tea.
Absolutely. They did. So I want to get back to the album before we go off into some other wild fucking tangent. But I want to say I read somewhere, and I'm guessing here, so confirm or deny, but I think the album started, for lack of a better description, when you started trickling out the beginnings of the song "Hillbilly Hymn," "Okra and Cigarettes," and people liked it enough for you to say, "Okay, I want," or the original idea enough for you to want to finish it.
Mhm.
It is a really beautiful, almost traditional mountain tune to me. Tell us a little bit more about the evolution of that song and what you hope it
Yeah.
communicates to people.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is that song actually, I had the record done and we had to kick a song off.
Oh wow!
And I wasn't even sure I wanted to record it. Because I was like, it's just a song on the internet. Um, that song started as like a silly little song that I was writing as a two-step song before my toddler. Like I had like 10 minutes to write. My toddler ripped my guitar out of my hands. And I was like, but I kind of, it just kind of stuck in my brain a little bit. And I was like, oh, this is kind of a nice little like acapella thing. Um, so I was literally tying my shoes to go out the door, and I was like, I'm just gonna set the phone down and record me singing it while I tie my boots. I'll probably get 300 likes or something on TikTok. I'll bring in 10 new followers. It's my slot for the day. It'll be great. And then that video got like 54,000 likes.
Wow.
And then so then I was like, well, I gotta finish writing the song. And then on Instagram it got over 1 million views. On TikTok it got over 1 million views, and it really took off. And I was always like, this is just a silly little song. Like it's all things that are serious to me, but like, um, but I mean, I've been working through my faith and my politics and where I'm from my whole life. Like saying the things in that song didn't take a lot of work for me in the moment. But then hearing people have this really strong emotional reaction to it made me like take a step back and realize like, no, that song took me a full 36 years to write.
Yeah.
I just didn't know it. Like in the moment,
Yeah.
I'd take it for granted all the work that I'd done to get there. Yeah, I mean that song is like I tell people at shows like I'm not a Christian artist. I just grew up here. I just grew up in the Bible Belt. And I have a I grew up like fundamentalist and doing all kinds of weird stuff. I've participated in lots of exorcisms and like you name it. Yeah, no, I got like people don't believe me when I say weird, and I'm like, no, the exorcisms were maybe the chillest part.
Yeah.
So like, but I tell people, I'm like, you know, you don't hear Doc Watson sing, you know, onward or faithful soldier and be like, oh, he's a Christian artist.
Right.
To me, it's just like it's a folk language that I inherited. Um, and it's all about how we talk about Jubilee. You know, what it means to like cancel debt to get people free, what it means to let the earth rest. What it means to let all of us kind of rewild a little bit, and to let all of the things that have been in the seedbed that have been wanting to grow culturally, socially, politically, environmentally, all those things come to the top. So like, you know, I tell people you can call that whatever you want. You can call it liberation. You can call it full communism. You can call it Jubilee. You can call it the rapture. I don't care. It's all got a different name, but that's what we're going for.
Love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So gourds and exorcisms. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're there.
So that describing your description there of how that song came to be, very involved. How about the rest of your songs? Do they kind of follow along the same way? You start with a little nugget of something that you build upon. Does it vary piece by piece?
It all depends. Like Seven Dust, was the first song I wrote. Before I even knew there was gonna be a record, I just knew that when I put out my last record, I tell people my last record felt like my last, like the big breakup you have before you get married, like the one where you're like, I've really got to get back to like, I've got to like reset some things and check in on why I keep keeping these toxic people around. Like that's how that record felt. And so when I got done with that record, I just started, I tell people like I just composted the way that I wrote. Like I'm not giving up on ride, but I'm giving up on this season. And I'm like going to let things kind of like rot and see what comes out. Because I know that like I've been around enough to like trust that whatever I need creatively will come back and will be there as long as I don't force it. But like I had a lot of writing habits and things that weren't serving me well. Seven Dust took about 1.5 years to write. I got back to just writing what I think I do best, which is songs that maybe aren't as chill as they should be, and are also still like pretty. The musical vocabulary is pretty colloquial and approachable.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and then they all kind of just pieced together however they pieced together. Like, I felt like once I got Seven Dust written, then Landlords Bill Lee Etc came together, then Meanness kind of came together, then Lots of Beginnings came together, like all these other songs followed suit once that one kind of did a lot, the breaking of the ice.
Very nice. Hey, before we get too off topic from the song Hillbilly Hymn, let's listen to it as we jump out for a quick break. We're talking to singer-songwriter Nathan Evans Fox about his new album, Heirloom. We're back in a flash. This is Roots Music Rambler.
When the Lord comes back, ain't gonna be no cops. You can cook your own, you can smoke your crops. All the boys gonna wear the pretty things. When the Lord comes back, and gotta prove a thing. When the Lord comes back, I'm gonna drive real slow. Gonna go wherever the Spirit goes. Gonna dog and biddle and talk and cuss. Well, ain't no boss gonna make a fuss. When the Lord comes back, I'm gonna drive real slow. Well, every high place is gonna be brought low. Every high place is gonna be brought low. When kingdom come, I want for nothing. It's just a long table, a mess of beans and honey buns. The trucks are small, the trains are late. The men pick up their dinner plates. Ain't nobody. Well, I hope your tenants make methane chain smoke. Got a herd of cats ain't ever get trained. I hope all your children grow up to call you by your first name. Let it be mighty nice to see you get right, but you chose a role you'd hold. So I hope trouble come and find you till you lose your mind. You get lost or finally come home. I'm wishing you a hard life, hard time, but you get what you get. This whole world is rubber.
Welcome back to Roots Music Rambler. You know I'm going to love a song that starts with the lyric, I hope your tenants make meth and chain smoke. That is Landlords Bill Lee Etc from Nathan Evans Fox. He is the author of that fun little fuck you song, I think. That is a fun ditty in the middle of a beautiful new album called Heirloom. Nathan is with us, and I have to ask, who pissed you off so bad you had to write that song?
All of them.
I love it.
Well, you know, Bill Lee's, he's the governor of Tennessee, bless his heart. I don't wish anything good for him. Landlords, obviously, you know, they get rich off of us just having to literally stay alive, and they don't take care of anything. You know, and there's always new et ceteras. That's the best part about having et cetera. And then, you know, you can also invite people to find their own et cetera. You know, it's like, the thing is, I'm not, a lot of people, like, they'll have like these signs in front of their house, like, no, hate has no home here. No, hate has home in my heart and in my house. It's just gotta find the right targets. Like, I cannot possibly love everybody.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm kind of maxed out. I got kids, I got family, I got friends that I really rock with. And if you mess with them, I might just hate you.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. My job is not to not hate. My job is just to be discerning with how I hate. And so that song is an opportunity to invite people into being discerning about their aversions and enmities.
Okay. Well, I tend to gravitate to albums and songwriters who mix in smartassery and satire in with their thick emotional or songs or political statements. So I definitely think you fall into that category. I wonder is it more difficult to write one versus the other? I've always thought that clever songs are more fun, but I've also tried writing comedy before, which is similar. Now, I'm not a songwriter, maybe a lyricist a little bit. But I've always thought that writing to be funny or clever like that is a lot harder than writing something that's emotion driven.
I guess. I mean, I think for me, like, it all is what emotion I'm feeling. Is like, to me, it's just as hard. because like when I'm writing a song about grief, there's still a lot of like introspection and figuring out like how to articulate something that really threads a needle. And I honestly think like with that song, with Landlords Bill Lee Etc, it's the same thing where it's like I want it to be fun. Like I don't want it to feel like scary that I'm being a hater. And so there's still the same like how do I articulate this in a way that is like still connective and still like something that people are going to be able to work with and draws me nearer to an audience rather than pushing them away. And so it's relatable, but it's also like there's some thoughtfulness in it too. Not that song is particularly thoughtful, but I don't think it like goes off the rails too much. So it really just depends, honestly. Like I've got some real squirrely vibes that aren't too hard to tap into. There's a reason that I really love Roger Miller because he writes some of the most emotionally confusing songs you've ever heard. And I'm like, Roger, you see me, you get me.
Oh.
So it really just depends. It really just depends the vibe.
All right. Well, so these stories, we love them. And it seems like they stem from your experiences both in Nashville and then also back home in Western North Carolina. So could you tell us a little bit more about Glen Alpine, North Carolina and your musical journey growing up there?
Yeah, I grew up fourth generation, the same piece of family land. I was kind of like the last person on that land. Like a lot of my family had kind of passed through. When I was getting out of college, the economy was not good. There weren't going to be jobs and real opportunities for me to go back. And so I didn't go back. Grew up really close to physically and relationally very close to my grandmother. And so she's like a real important person in my life. I learned a lot from her. She was so mean and so generous. Like she really understood that, like she understood what it was to like give somebody the shirt off your back and also like run a cop off.
Yeah.
And she understood how those two things have to go together. So I learned a lot from her. Yeah, so when she died, my family made the decision to sell the family land. And they moved outside of Nashville. My dad needed better medical care and so a lot of family decisions went into that. So I have a lot of grief about losing that land.
Sure.
Because that land was a connection.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people it was like a pantheon of like it was almost theological. Like it grounded all of these relationships to people that I maybe hadn't met but felt a connection to, or or it was a placeholder for people that I knew but couldn't keep in contact with as much. Like it was this real kind of it was very, very evocative and kind of loaded in that way. So I've got grief about that, but also the more that I like become a parent, I think about not to put too fine a point on it about the title of the record, Heirloom, but I think my job more and more is to like think about what I'm seed banking.
Mm-hmm.
Like what I want to pass down to my kids from where I came from. And so implicit in that process is accepting that you're going to lose things, that seasons are going to come to an end and there's going to be things to grieve. If you're not grieving, you're probably not being very wise and discerning about what it is you're going to hand down. And so I think that family land has been a big part of like what it is I want to hand down. And also, there's things there that I can stay there. And part of that grief is accepting like is refusing to kind of buy into a fantasy of what that stuff is, either a fantasy that makes it worse than it was, or demonizes it or idolizes it.
Well, those words ring awfully true for me because by the end of this year, my 250 almost year old family farm will be sold off in Central Virginia. So the Falls Cooper family's been there for a long damn time, and my dad and aunt's generation is the one that's selling it off for good reasons. But I'm going through sort of the same kind of thing you are. I love how you put all that into a nice little fine point for me. Now I know you grew up with bluegrass, folk, gospel, and the normal mix of what us hillbillies and mountain folks grow up with. I wonder, was there a certain song or artist or sound that you remember first gravitating to and thinking, man, I want to learn how to play that or know more about that kind of music or that artist?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, all the mountain stuff, all that hillbilly stuff was kind of ambient. I was not allowed to listen to secular music growing up. So,
Ah,
yeah, so I'd hear it at like my mama's, or I'd hear it in the car at somebody's, or, I like to tell people, like, this is the truth. My mama had these really huge, very productive blueberry bushes, but the birds would always get to them. And so she tried the normal things of like putting black tape up there so it looked like snakes, and hanging like the AOL CDs and pop pans up for all the reflections. But the only one that really worked reliably was she would hang like little battery power radios out there in like grocery bags. And so you would just hear like Alan Jackson and Clint Black and George Strait, kind of just always, she always had like Big Dog Country or something. So like I literally absorbed country music ambiently. But also like it was a kind of forbidden fruit. So it's kind of funny that like this is now where I'm at. So yes and no. Like,
okay.
I think a lot of my musical language was always kind of jilted, because what I wanted to do was not necessarily what was around, or what was allowed. And so, part of the process of making music for me has been like allowing myself to recover a sound that I've always loved, while understanding that like the songs about trucks and jello shots don't come organically to me. So like the musical vocabulary is there,
Yeah.
and the twang is there, and the world that it comes from is there, but how I always inhabited that world is very different than, I mean, I think it's a lot of lies and bullshit that's being sold anyway on top 40 stuff, but I definitely can't even fake the top 40 stuff.
Right. Hence the category of Americana music. Thank the good Lord that that's here.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Yes. And as such, you've never really shied away from commentary on the state of the world, politics and such. So we noticed an Instagram post of yours from not that long ago. You said you make music for people trying to recover traditional masculinity. So we'd love to hear your explanation of what that means, because we saw some of the follow-up too on that post. And, we really, we like that perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's funny, like the people that talk about trad stuff, they act like history is this closed monolith and like everybody was a certain way, without realizing that story they've been told about what's traditional and what's historical is normally just a story that people in the present tell to sell a certain like sense of how it actually is, when that's just propaganda. Yeah, I mean, you look at masculinity historically, and like I said in the Instagram post, it's all a little gay and it's pretty communistic. Like men were not super into property rights. They weren't super into being straight. They weren't super, I mean, some of them were really into dominating women, but a lot of men weren't. Like there's a whole world, there's a whole universe of ways of being that people have been operating in since history started to be written, let alone the tens of thousands of years of matrilineal society that happened before the written word was invented. So yeah, I mean, when people talk about traditional masculinity, it's like, which tradition?
Yeah.
And for who? Like, there's so many options. And the men that the traditional people, the people that are all about being a trad wife, a trad husband, whatever, they're so corny, and it's also not true. Like they invented a corny ass lie to like be able to have like a spread they could have in like Southern living. Like you could just, you don't need to do all that. You just need like a charcuterie board and some azaleas.
Plant a
Anyway,
magnolia
I don't have
tree.
strong feelings about it. Plant a magnolia tree and then like be good to your wife. Goddamn.
Charcuterie board and azaleas. I feel like that's a song title. Like you got to come up with some lyrics.
That is a good one. I will say I'm very pleased with this episode, because we've talked about gourds, and we've talked about traditional masculinity, and I learned that Alan Jackson scares off birds. That makes me happier than shit right there. That tickles me to the core.
And exorcisms.
Most importantly, he protects blueberries.
Okay, well, all right. That's
important to the toddlers in his house.
That's another way to spin it, I guess. Well, we're glad that you are telling all these stories, regardless of how ridiculous they might sound sometimes. And we're glad you're helping people with the recovery effort on masculinity there. We are fortunate enough to be able to follow along and listen and enjoy. Before we let you go, Nathan, tell folks where they can find you on the interwebs to learn more, buy things, download, stream, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, always. Bandcamp's always great, and my website's always great. We love listening analog. It helps us a lot to be able to like pay for things. I'm everywhere you listen to music, all the digital streaming platforms. I'm on Instagram, and if you really want to hear me run my mouth, if you don't like the songs but you like everything else, you should follow me on TikTok. And then Substack's cool too. I'm leading an anti-confederate Southern history book club this summer, and all those resources will stay up.
Love it.
So you can tap in on the history of sabotage and insurrection and organization and labor activism that's always been here in the South, even though that's not the history that's told through the official avenues.
I love it. Nathan Evans Fox. The new album is out now. It is called Heirloom. We love it and think you will too. Nathan, thanks so much for hanging with us, man. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Folks, more recommendations for good music coming up in the Pick and the Grinning segment, which is up after the break. We're going to listen to the first single off Nathan's new record as we go to break. The song is Lots of Beginnings, and this is Roots Music Rambler.
Welcome to the world, dear. There's an awful lot to show you. There's so much that I hold dear. Well, that now includes you. We gave you your name, cause it means that you can do hard things. We gave you your name, cause we don't say it the same way. There's lots of beginnings.
Welcome back to Roots Music Rambler. I'm telling you what, it's been a while since we've laughed that hard. Nathan Evans Fox is a funny motherfucker, as well as being a brilliant songwriter and singer. And yeah, Landlords. Fuck them Landlords. I love that. He's so good. Like he reminds me in some ways the type of singer-songwriter he is, like a Hayes Carl, who's got these like really deeply emotionally touching songs, and then throws in something that's got so much satire and sarcasm in it, you just shit yourself laughing. And I love songwriters like that. I just love it. And I love his music, and this album's so good. So Heirloom, go out and get it. He was fantastic.
Agreed.
There we go. All right. So we've reached the point in the program where, in addition to Nathan Evans Fox, we're going to recommend some music to you. This is what we here around the Roots Music Rambler Ranch call our Picking the Grinning segment. And mosey up with your horses and your donkeys and shit and listen, because we're going to tell you who you need to be listening to this week, or what you ought to be watching, or whatever's
consuming.
To expand your education on the world of wonderful music that we talk about here on the big show. No, I'm not drunk and I'm not tired. So I'm going to kick it over to you, Miss Francesca. Who or what is your Picking the Grinning for this week?
All right. So mine is a little unusual, not at all in the Americana space. And it's kind of a concept more than a song or artist or whatever. Okay, so hear me out. It's no secret, my family's Italian.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So naturally, I come across a lot of stuff on Instagram, social media, of things going on in Italy. And I pay special attention to things going on in cities like Napoli, aka Naples, and Calabria, which is a region in the south of Italy where my dad's family's from. So I came across this account on Instagram where this dude gets on the metro in Naples with a speaker and a microphone, and he plays a song called Sarà perché ti amo. And what it means is, it will be because I love you. And it's just such an upbeat song. And, you know, you got to go to Instagram and look at the reels that he's posted, because if that doesn't make you want to get up and dance, even and try to sing along, even if you don't know what the hell he's saying,
Okay.
it's just so full of life and full of joy, and it makes my heart hurt because I want to go back to Naples so badly. It's like my second favorite city in all of Italy. Um, so his Instagram account is metroman_official. And
Okay.
he's taken this little act to other cities in Italy as well, like Rome and Milan. But the song is so catchy too. And it's just very upbeat and very lively and just so happy sounding. And yeah, it makes me really happy to be of Italian descent. And it kind of jives with what I've always said about Italian people in Italy. They just love life.
Yeah.
Okay. There's so much joy. And of course, there are areas and individuals that don't really fit that description. But I've been to Italy a few times, been to different regions throughout, and just the joy that is just that emanates from the people that I've come across. It just makes me so proud. And this song is a real toe tapper. So I encourage you to check out Metro Man Official on Instagram, listen to Sarà perché ti amo, and, let us know what you think.
All right. I love it. And I also love that I can also say Sarà perché ti amo. Wonderful. That's good. I like it. I'm looking forward to going to check that out. All right. So we've recommended an Instagram person with a song. So that's a little different. Mine's different too. Because Karen and I recently finished up watching whatever season of whatever show we were watching, as you got your shows. We finished The Pit. That's what it was. We finished The Pit,
Okay.
and we're sitting here going, well, what are we going to watch next? What's out there? So we start looking around, and Karen had recently downloaded on our smart TVs here in the House of Halls and House of Bingham, the PBS app, the Public Broadcasting System applications where you can get all the PBS stuff. I can't remember what she was looking for, but she downloaded it. And so we stumbled across, and I remember watching maybe 2 episodes of this when it first came out in 2019. But we decided to binge Ken Burns' country music documentary. And I am so glad that we did, because not only was it so educational, as all of his documentaries are, I learned so much stuff and just interesting little tidbits about one person or another. And of course, they interview everybody. There were clips from Merle Haggard and clips from Loretta Lynn, and Marty Stewart was real prominent in there. Ketch Secor's in there, and he looks like he's about 13 years old. So it was recorded apparently a long time ago. But just really, really fantastic. Now it's 8 episodes. Each episode's 2 hours each. So this is something you're going to have to watch over a few days. But at one point in episode 8, as they're talking about the modern era of country music, the vignette fades from one story and opens into a new story. And I'm looking at this black and white picture that's on the screen. And right in the middle of it is a street scene from a mountain town. And right in the middle of it is golf furniture. And I went, that's the fucking street I grew up on.
Stop.
That's right down from my house. What the hell is this? And it was opening a little section on Dwight Yoakam, who was born in Pikeville, Kentucky. So my hometown is in the damn thing too, which is cool. Dwight's in it several times, but I mean, I learned so many little tidbits. Probably, and this is something that dyed-in-the-wool country music fans know. I did not know this, so it was very surprising to me. But they're interviewing Marty Stewart several times throughout, and he tells several stories about his mandolin and all sorts of other things. And he is really the connective tissue between Bill Monroe and Johnny Cash, because he was in all their bands. Like when he was 14 years old, I think he was in Bill Monroe's band. So he's been the connective tissue in country music for a long time. But the cool thing that I learned that I didn't know is that when he was, I think, 11 years old, he went to a county fair or festival or something to see Connie Smith play. Now, he was 11. Connie Smith was, she's 15, 17 years older than him. She was already a country music superstar and came to sing. He gets his picture. He and his sister get their picture with Connie Smith. And then he tells this story about he was up in these bleachers and whatnot. And apparently her car, her limousine or whatever, was sitting down where he could see it. And he sees her after the show sitting in it. And so he leans over and says, "Hey, can I take your picture?" And she looks up and waves and smiles and he takes her picture. He shows the pictures on the documentary. And he says, at 11 years old, when I got home that night, I turned to my mother and said, "Mama, when I grow up one day, I'm going to marry her." He fucking did. He married her in 1997. Marty Stewart, at 11 years old, said, "I'm going to grow up and marry this country superstar that I just saw in concert." And he did it. I did not know that. Blew my mind. I was just like, what the hell? That's crazy.
So if I say that I'm going to marry Pedro Pascal, will that happen?
It's possible.
Okay.
It's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. It happened for Marty Stewart. Now, it probably would help if you were an actress or played mandolin like Marty Stewart or whatever.
I guess.
Anyway, Ken Burns country music documentary, fantastic. I've watched 3 or 4 of the Ken Burns documentaries. They're all very good. He's a master craftsman at the documentary genre, and the country music one is so informative and so educational. It does a great job of weaving in influences from African music and mountain traditional music that starts off with Jimmy Rogers and the Carter family, and Rhiannon Giddens is in there talking about the African influences with the banjo. I mean, it's just so well done and so good. So go watch that if you haven't. And I think you can actually stream it on one of the audio services out there. They've got the audio of it, which is probably just as good.
Yeah.
So,
and
there
you know, there's if I could, just a little plug for our public, like libraries and such, and public broadcasting. If you have a library card wherever you live, whatever town or city, there are resources that you can use for free, and one of them is called Canopy, and it's spelled Kanopy. And you can access all kinds of films and even TV shows from all over the world. And I want to say that there are some PBS documentaries on there. So that would be a good way to support PBS and your local library.
That's very true.
And if I can also say that you and I both our picks were related to our roots. And we didn't even know that going into it, right? We don't really share.
we don't talk about them.
Right. We don't share what our picks are going to be beforehand. So I picked something that is of my Italian roots, and you picked one that is of your Pikeville roots. And
absolutely,
look at that. It
How about
all
that?
Comes full circle.
Full freaking circle. Unbelievable. Just like Marty Stewart.
Marrying Connie Smith.
I'm going to marry Connie Smith one day.
That's
Damn
amazing.
If he didn't. Yeah, he has an ex-wife too, and that's just one of Johnny Cash's daughters. So,
Oh no big deal.
Yeah, shrug that off, Marty Stewart. God bless. This guy literally is the connective tissue from Bill Monroe all the way to today. Crazy, absolutely crazy. All right, yeah, this has been too much fun, and I need a nap.
Yeah. Yes. Same.
Roots Music Rambler is a production of Falls and Partners, copyright 2026. Our theme music is Sheepskin and Beeswax by Gentacorum. Join us online at rootsmusicrambler.com, and make sure you mash that subscribe or follow button so you remember to join us for the next Hold Down and Throwdown. She's Frank.
And he's Falls.
And whatever you do, kids, ramble on.